Hi there, it's Inku. Today I'm gonna do a simple demonstration of how to change costumes to your avatar. What I'm gonna use here is the Mishi avatar and a swimwear designed for her. Just as always, you will have to import VRChat SDK and optional dynamic bones first, and then any shaders that is required by the model is imported. And then you can start to import your character and the costume that you want to use. Now drag and drop your character into the scene. Here we have to unpack the prefab in order to do modification to the avatar. I'm gonna enable the body base for Michelle, which is the full body for her, and delete the components that we don't need. Now you can see here, Michelle is wearing underwears. I won't take off those underwears for obvious reasons, but by the way, if you're doing the same job as I do and you want to remove them, you will have to deal with the textures of her. Now I'm going to drag and drop the swimwear into the same scene. Notice that this swimwear is designed for Michelle, so we don't need to adjust it for fitting. But you may have to adjust your costume by moving, rotating, or scaling here. Now we go to the assets and say VRChat example, examples 2, animations, and let's have a preview of the walking animation here. Expand and select the animation here. The animator preview will appear in the inspector. Drag and drop your avatar into the preview window to do a preview. You can see here there's no swimwear in the preview. This is because the swimwear is not affiliated to the avatar itself. So now we drag and drop the swimwear object into the avatar, Michelle, to make it a component of the avatar. Let's do the preview again. You can see here the swimwear is attached to the avatar, but it does not move with the avatar. This is because the swimwear does not has any bone connected to the avatar's bone. So we unpack the prefab of the swimwear, and here comes the most difficult part. Move the major bones from the swimwear into the avatar's amateur hierarchy. It's hard to explain what are major bones. In general, all bones should be placed into Michelle amateur itself, but they should be placed respectively into different position of the character. Imagine this like the costume's neck bone should move according to the character's neck bone, and the costume's left hand bone should move according to the character's left hand bone. So we start with the most end major bone here. Luckily enough, the swimwear has all the major bones named exactly the same as Miche, so we just have to find identical names. And here's a demonstration. Here I found the first major end bone called upper leg dot left, having a identical name with the bone in Miche. So we drag and drop inside the Miche bone. We do the same for the upper leg right. And then we expand the spine, chest, and find some other major bones like upper arms. There could be lower arms, also lower legs, and feet and hands in your costume. But for me, because it's a swimwear, it only has arms and legs. So you just have to make sure you move the end bones first before you move their parents. Here's a note. When you move a foreign bone into the avatar, make sure it is not the first child bone of the parent bone. So you want to move it to the second one, or the last one. Anyone, just not the first one. Don't ask why. This is just making sure that your character moves as expected without problem. We do the same for upper arm right. And then don't forget to move the shoulder bones itself. Make sure the foreign bone is not the first one. And shoulder right, there we go. Now we expand the neck bone and we found no other major bones inside, so drag and drop. And for the rest of them in chest, there's no identical names, so we just move the whole chest bone. Make sure it's not the first one. And don't forget the spine and hips. Now we've done. Leave the rest of them unchanged and let's do a preview. Can now see the swimwear is moving correctly with the character. Now we apply dynamic bones to it, but remember only apply them after you have done with the bones. The manual of the swimwear told me where to apply the dynamic bones, so I will just do as instructed. Select all these bones and say add component, dynamic bones, and specify the bone itself as its root bone. So we'll do it one by one. The same for the bones here. Now we hit the play button on top and go back to Scene tab and select your avatar and try to move it. You can see the hairs and the swimmer is jiggling, so the dynamic bone is set up. Now your avatar is ready to be uploaded. But notice one last thing. You should delete any component that is unused in your avatar because even if you disable them by unchecking it, it still makes your avatar a larger download size and a higher polygon count. So here we delete one last unused component that I forgot to do so, and our swimwear Michie is ready to be uploaded. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave any comment or hit the like button if you like it. I will see you in the next one.